Mwebale ba GNTV, mwebale kwekumira mkutu kandi in morning breeze ishikango shahibiri netweka mpaka shahisha netweka ntwaturi omu segment to a hotspot itukubantu tayisa abantu batare bamwe na bamwe political, social, economic, all sectors omukasheshe hano ya GNTV ntubantu discussing esho nga status mwe nazimwe kabutosha Bukenya Everest ni mbanku ine and in Gango in your sitting room you get blessed and be empowered with any information that comes because it is very powerful to be informed. Arubazuru wanje hano ya natayisa Shadow Mayor nakushemererwa sebo.
Amina.
Mukama wita simwe.
Simwe mnonga kusuma.
Mwe bari mukusiba mukora I always nyenda kusime abantu bakureba on behalf of doctors and the nurses and all medical workers. We really appreciate feeling all Ugandans and people in authority bagumeba sime health workers abokuba you do a great deal to our health. Ayimutari story and amashamari gatari tomorrow. So which means you are as important as a teacher.
Yes, that's very true.
Okay, na niza kushaba oramusiho abareba GNTV and Genomish.
Wewe mnonga Pastor Bukenya mwanzo wa program yetu enunjie je ya morning breeze the hotspot kandi nimbaza no kora musyamwena abari kureba GNTV kama wita simwe kandi ntumusima bugaraka katwereze mbabazinsya umuburizi Bible ne jangwe mbabazize ninsya bolkasheshe so nsima rangabo mbabazeri izoba tusima mujuni abukutuberaho no tukatwinenga amayiti yatwebereremu konka tureba rahangani twatuberiremo ubwo umwana keshonge cyeshongo yajya atogota atakumira mpera na kumira busha turinda twerezo mu isyo so tumusima mnonga kandi top management ya television age nimbasima mwebare mu byo gumukora kandi Bukenya yasimira abakozi abari ko mu marwaro nanye ninyongera hirakeriyo okubasima mu murungi nagumbwira ubu tutari mu covid era active no short ministry of health no kuba ni kora mugi bagumana batereza mbwa ratsi batereza mbwa updates so ubuzima ministry of health tugisima
wa message ni bwiza
mano bwija kwa updates ni bwija konkare kabajengo hataza lockdown wo kureba message kandi zatandika so amazina nkaburijo ni Peter mpaka kandi ndio mutuze wo muri mbarara nindora makenke na mwenye ndakohereze na musyo abatahibanje muri makenke ino abasigaza bajya mukora nabo nkakayondo nimba sindikirenda musyo ntimwe bare emeyi muri gukora kandi ubuzima mukama
bakurga
babaho bakureba GNTV
in fact ko waba omuntu wawe ariyombichweka maybe bitaine network still no basa kufollowinga kutuyiti YouTube inoza YouTube no take aho GNTV Uganda program no wanojo taburo aho kuboro hona ubundi no basa kubolia mu sitting room program age kaneza kumfera kana nyenda kuzomwani isoke smartphone ya wejo jiteko ho mbizo te ozaje ozoma YouTube uteke mu GNTV Uganda neza kwa bantu turebera asimu yawe mutari wanje ogoro murone nakwakira kasheshekeri cyobe nzubane 2014 ukwezi twakutwaraza tuyo mwako gwe 2021 kache taho ngwabere nebiri waza ko barombi ya covid emyaka turiyo tuzomi yeshatu tuzomu lockdown tugeragamo tujigarakamu tingo makani impura bariyomba jangu watugarakemo watagarakamo
yes
konka ekintu kikizireyo kwata nase kushasha abantu abantu binye n'abasire na amashomero gumagakingire ebindi bikigura amashomero n'amaramizo byo bikaguma bikingire abo kwa wasa kureba setup yebinde bigwire na n'amashomero na churches biona enjawulo tero Minister of Education aligire yagira imwe n'umutekateka ngo abwe kigamete gumire ekingire imwe n'umujyango nito twenda guma tushashora abashomesa batakushomesa kandi ito tukubashashora sente ninga nabo kugira ngo twenda tutambira abana banyu batakafa so konka kandi minister n'uwomwe ataratshorera at length bwanyuma yo kwiguraho international schools zo zakazi wevingira bana yajango it's okay imwete mwine shonga covid no showani tarahikeyo abana nese bakagira ngo abana banyu we don't mind about them muze kushoma konka abandi abitukufaho mube muryaka imwe nkabare benshonga kandi nkabebe mbesi bine vision yihangeri no reba muki no ega muki no commending achi nalisi echoka kanisa.
Yes. We bari munongo mwanzo wa programu like nko kweze nyuma aho like 3 or 4 weeks ago tukaturi yawo programu yiteje nunji heza that day monitor ikesho with a headline eri kujeti schools to reopen in 2 weeks. Monitor government request the bad paper actually nyokuna arebere ejo paper ejo article na teka shana monitor unit ambikibare omukishaka kurebekira argi because apparently Ministry of Health Ministry of Education ekaya cecekire yabyamere icyo twenda ntikimanya kubarangirire lockdown eje ya kabiri kurge 2018 byo kwa mukaga aho mukwa mushazo mukwa munana we are not seeing anything kiri kunyenya mu minister cyurukayo tuzakubahereza running materials nazo tuzireba apart from we kujara ngo mu newspapers and it ends there which not everybody affords. So monta kweze kushohoza nanka nejo ejo article immediately Minister of Education yatandika kufamulinga no kwata bamwe bargayo no we cannot open na ngwana musenero ogogo advisor wa president on epidemics yajata at we cannot open akubantu reba signs za third wave ziriyo cooking up so we cannot open akubantu kareba through the first phase ngu schools zikabanka incubation centers abana bakazokwe barwarayo bahunama yuzuka surveillance yitu ni very weak izuka ngunda namamotoka pickups 292 aguba guzire unago kusurveilinga nago kuyamo musurveilinga nejesha Ministry of Finance kigakwasira umusoro tugukakozire ki tugukarebekere so ebe byona bikiryaho so koko banotera mutochi warebe nshongeji nyonka nagambe nagirangu the ideal way yo handlinga covid omu bantu binji ombada bakuza congregatinga no kumakinga sure ngo bari vaccinated konka twagirangu Uganda capacity yitu na nahuturi vaccine ekirahare munonga ok vaccinating all learners yuzuka abeja bari mu mashomero they are about 15 millions
okay.
So ntubatuetenga 30 million doses just for students. There was abashomesa abariya government payroll they about emitwara 5
okay.
There were take on non-teaching staff abakubantu bakora ko mbiyungu basarashinga bakora ki akubabona bono school community. There were take abazira bakutayaya. So it's a very very huge population and it means obutakwekora vaccine it internally ekintu kyo vaccinating although it is the ideal thing it is still so far away very far away. So Minister of Education nangwa bagiza okutightening ekintu kyo kugirangu atom proposals ezi bakozere after monitor kubatambika mu ibara bandikira president bamujya muturi kimwa kibagambira bakambaga mu reviewinga curriculum kugira ngo badishortening ito kunuya tujangu washoteninga curriculum as educationists kimanyisangu abana wakubajabura obazabure kugira ngo bakore ki obarwaninge bakatching up with time twarebana no kureviewinga curriculum itself is not an ideal point yo kugira ngo ukore ki ngo remere
kasi otakagira point ndi zo takire kirima aja curriculum you I would support them why because curriculum ya Uganda niyo kushikiriza omukoro abo kuba nabe batabishomere nababishoma byona nibishana at a certain level.
Yes.
Na mnonga even primary level karemba aho mbamba bageza kuba banguro bwongo na ariho amashoma gaba kushoma ruyarega kuyama ako mwana na affair wachi yabwa kumanyango ya discovering Lake Victoria so.
But you see, that's a historical heritage. It is a historical. Haroba and yes, haroba chikuyamba. Kana harona chikuba chitari so important. Akwana chikatuka discuss njira. Tuajangu reviewing the curriculum would be okay. But still, if we are going to go talent based, kujangu tuzumbure emigaji y'abana nashe myuga y'abana ibinde hatu bari to developing. Konka even what they want to sieve out, nimena ku sieving out a few things kujangu ba catching up with time. Hatu na ningamangu ekintu cha historical heritage is important. Arawe mbeda kushenye kizimbe cha watoto church in Kampala. Bakwenda kuchidumo rishinga bachi bombeke chombeke chiri current with this generation. Government ya young bajangu no. Ekizimbe mu kiboneze konka chikumeho ako bachikombe kwiro myaka ya 10 nkama 130. So it brings that cultural heritage. So ebyo binteba kwandi begesa nyoti yes tukura emwe bishanke bya unapplicable ako batinkanye scientist no ronda history ya bantu ekiri kunyamba imbura konka still ni kinyamba kumanyangu they came from here omwana yambuze that
anything.
Yes, they add some value. That history is you may not appreciate it, but that history is an employment. For example, to the lecturers of history, to the lawyers, they study all this about quoting the cases which were judged in 1900, and they keep referring to them to make judgments.
If you compare our curriculum and our Western world, do you see the difference?
Yes, I see a big difference. The big difference is in the Western world, in those developed countries, they identify talent in the person. Bajango mwana ntumureba na yenda kuba mutezi w'umupira. Kishokorera Emmanuel Cristiano Ronaldo wanugamba he is very rich na sako kujakaka kambara kuona kaguri. Just one individual because he has multiple assets and he got money from football. So if we can say the captain keep identifying emyoga y'abana bitu omwana twashanga nakunda kutere ready hansi akabikana kakanda katumentu mango gwa mwechachi echo gwa engineer tumusungule like that, then it helps konka still even what they want to do they end up picking up certain things bakolechi babinagaru bazu just for the sake of catching up with time, meaning that omwana twakumupolishinga yewe nyonche chinkugamba I'm against that simple review eyo kupolishinga omuntu aheru akagenda okashanga certain ingredients in life zakora chamansa that subject tumumshe mukushoma if 3 if 1 if 2 if 3 hati chamansa to akoreba if 2 na if 3 is very important katumwejise if 1 agendera. So that means just because of time you're going to be reducing on the content, which is not ideal.
You think in the future, before you continue, bamara polishinga mwibatyo in the future omwana inechale na abron?
Yes, exactly.
When you compare it to this full capacity bakubahereza.
Yes, at koloshe mekushoma medicine for 5 years baka kushomesa in 3 years. Will you be having the same skills? I don't want a long period.
What we can university hatoshana ko muntu ari yari na ega skill. It is very different. Na nabari lower classes abakwega ingoni people nanka ba musolini abatakuza kumu adi ngira hona ngwa amatari.
Pastor Kenya, this history we read because it's not only history, actually we are basing on history, but even the CRE they teach us there. The geography they teach us, the geography of the Arabs, how those mountains were formed, how those crater lakes were formed. They are important because people become tour guides.
They will be important for a person over Joramu Echirabo. So maybe chok flying enyonyi ninga bukutimba ebyomuitaka.
But Kenya, for example, today if you go to visitors and they are visiting you, bakakuja take us on a tour guide. Turamzemu utwaro kukuza bebe and you don't know anything
and who is employed in that akumanye because I'm not in school kugira ngo umujenye kara ntayaire mbeni basa.
But there is this knowledge. You see, to know is not dangerous. Actually, it would be good for us to know whatever we can know.
That should be supplement. Konko muntu bamushomese ekintu kyakoza kufuna munyincha kare. Are knowledgeable in something.
Yes,
I mean into no work in a certain level of institution level whereby nyonka shoma mashanyarazi. Now where we are not doing well. Even how to are concentrating. How can nyonka shoma circuit breaker? Theoretically. Until I finish school, na gar conflict na gar kana practical.
At no shoma circuit breaker ya na electrical connections. How would you feel omuntu yakubuza at how is the crater lake formed and you don't know anything?
It's not my area.
But still you look out of place.
It's not
so
my
not to
area.
To a certain degree, I support us learning these things. To kamanya how these fault lines come about.
But they are
how these emergencies.
A waste of time and a waste of resources.
No.
And we are missing something very, very, very important. To take our resources into omwana ashome abena basakora akaredi. Omwana ashome abena basakora echikwasi nango echikwasi. We are becoming useless Africans just because of education about here.
Yes, me I support what you're saying and I agree with you that it is very twine no kuja mu curriculum extends meaning amano musomesa ya jango P4 umwana na umejisa mathematics ya 2 digits at zone P5 agaka umejisa the same addition now bongeraho another 1 digit is 5, so he's repeating the same thing. I come P7 hatu bazikora 7 digits at zone sine 1 bagaka umejisa addition hatu bongera 10 digits, so it's the same repetition. It's not wrong to know these geographical features, it's not wrong to know this history, but the issue is putting a lot of time on it and we fail to concentrate or kuzungura abana bitu ahabite bikubasa kutungura ihanga ryitu. So when they are doing this curriculum review ekite kibayo bakora bone benango bacendeze mukache bapolishinga higuru yahabwa time kugira ngo ukachinga hapo mwana ryo nakura akachinga up and then it ends there. So another guideline which they had put in, most of these happened as a shortening because there were 7 points. Bakan largely benango ba strengthening COVID restrictions on masomero. Social distancing ebeho, amizgo kuna benga rugabeho, manyabana bataka sitting close to each other, but strengthening surveillance, bateke muna no kushomarwa mukaga, nachicho bayamba suggestinga, bayamba teka muna no kureba ngo ba prioritizing abana abakwizo mu masomero for a short time. Kaba kuhumura after lunch chokora bakamba jangu batandikena na lower classes is a P1 to P2 to P3 abakuta kugira ngo abana batakagira a lot of contact with the school. Konka itokutera mutochi twarega ensongeji. Still it goes back to the issue of vaccination, because Ministry of Health tells you to recover the breeding and manke ko yera rira mahuli erikuza gachinga nibaganira community ato work checking abantu masks twazurgo work checking abantu ebyo kunabenga rukaburgo wa checking aba boda atu batwara abantu bashatu wa checking omotoka ebya half capacity bikargo abantu so hati tulion to brooming the third wave. So Ministry of Health is advising and saying no, mube murekire ekintu cha vaccination tureba cyeka ko checking vaccination records only for teachers to at 38%. Remember the last vaccine we got is like a month and a half ago. Emitwaro 16 yetu atungire ku Ganowe na nemitwaro 35 yarugire kai yarugire kandi mami yejo. Okay. Hatko kureba abantu aba vaccinated n'abashomesa abo targeting as the priority group. Twaisa abantu emitwaro 20 na gumwe actually emitwaro 29 tutukashe even halfway of the bashomesa. Was our private schools? We haven't even talked about the teachers in private schools. Haro institutions is a number loans which don't have even capacity to reopen. So when the government says let's reopen or let's try to inspect schools, how do you wonder from where? Where are we starting from? So that's why we are calling upon our government.
You're inspecting a school that has been closed for almost 2 years.
For almost 2 years. How you are going to inspect it and start from where? That's why we call upon government, really, Ministry of Education, Erugom Slamba, Erinkarium Kaslamba mode, Kariaho, Kujam to name really everything to end up implementing. Bishop Kumani be Yambo once. No Canada cha e-learning, strengthening e-learning. For example, why at such a time should government have a 12% tax on the internet? Or you have learners, secondary, if it were possible, by downloading notes, by downloading it. You can propose to get into Ministry of Education could developing an app. App jo bakajibuilding gaji. Kujirangu it has zones. Watch tapping aho Ministry of Education e-learning app. Ochitapping aho eigura. Ya igura ekwereka regions, maybe we can say Kampala and Wakso, because those ones are kind of heavily populated, to take as longa, then to in a central region, western region, northern region, eastern region. Ochitapinga katojorium western, ochitapinga western. Ekwihirayo. Are you in a government school or a private school? I'm in a government school. Otapinga government school. Which government, which district? Ekwerekom western to in these districts. Himbarara, nkahi, utunyonyo wambarara. Utapinga rimbarara. Government schools rimbarara. Mbara municipal, mbarara matazi. Ne. Hato utunyonyo wa matazi. Utapinga. Hato uchitapinga which class? Ekujeta, nyonyo class ya P2. Ekugayo which subject? Subject by teacher Kenya SST. Utapinga. Hati ishikuletera teacher Kenya. Oshaka teacher Kenya yatire yoba notes. Yatire yona mwana ka audio kakwarachi kako explaininga. Hato mwana abasa kurra, abasa following up na notes. Hato tuguma to monitoring progress. The only issue with this e-learning that you're suggesting is there are only two issues. One is that not all parents will get the smartphones. So that's why a government will come in and intervene.
Government intervening. Inchirichira aha payments za fees. Akayabere in learning tugirengo omwana kare yana shashuri mitwaro 20 fees. Hata bajyana naza kushashuri 10. Kwa accessinga the such matter manyisa ikumye za sigara as around a smartphone. Nyoni njirangu chaba chityo smartphone.
Actually, yes, that's even a better idea. Hatu bwajangu katuchendeze, let people pay at 0.5%. Hatu nchimaisa nguziria za sigara ka balance na sagura ka phone ke mitwaro 8 nange mitwaro 9 karunji kandi nechindi. If they developed this app, you can even give them a password. Ujotukorosha shule school fees. You will get this key. Otapi mgemu otungechi notes. Hata parents, they will work and see that their children are progressing. Omuzire president arageko kwa kubana addressing agambira omuzire, we are in a war, we cannot act normal. Echitu inekora tunekorebeka ngo hatiya abana bitu nitotwalisa twaba monitoringa tungobwire orebe ngo mwana nashoma umwana na accessing notes. Internet age bajiyo naga bajichendeza kale bajiteka 2%. Naga bajira atinoreba like me, part of the small business I do as a side business is agency banking. For example, an agent with one of the banks, maybe let me not mention it because tunabakora karango babatan sponsoring it. One of the banks nethereza data as agents. Konka that data works for that app of that bank. No go when downloading anything, it cannot open because you will just have to use that data to send and receive money. To deposit for the client or to receive money from the client.
Egato banazituruge omburango baba kama baitu ntuiza kumisa muturebe government is willing kugira ngo mwana wansi yashoma ninga covid ni yorwe kwaso tutaka kwasira abindi otando.
Fresco Supermarket Ibarra brings you the best and quality items like kitchenware, furniture, all kinds of drinks, fresh fruits and vegetables, long-lasting electronics, and many more others at a promotional discount. We also do deliveries straight to your doorway at the lowest cost. For more information, please call 0702 999 333 or WhatsApp 0773 26 0075.
Dream abojeri amashta marungi jeri kasige tomanjeri dream abojeri nikatamba mazombe bikuno bisente zo n'indwara zombiri dream abojeri dream abojeri nokumori kubereshera sige dream abojeri nokumori kutemagana kanto kakikura nokumori kubereshera sige dream abojeri nokumori kutemagana kanto kakikura
Mahabo Jerry netambe ndwara zo mubiri zona kandi nekonwa abakuriye Dev Child International byombi bipimo bya grams 5 yigana 2 hamwe na nkaga yiwo mushobozi tuterera hasi muzitu 0 mushanjo zuri 2 kinana na mushanjo 5 nina hana nemwe na 0 mushanjo mushanjo 2 kinana na mushanjo 5 nina hana nemwe Mahabo Jerry nekiroto cyamagaragawo otarakimanya urye nyuma nke kwati mesige
Happy Fashions Boutique abari kushangwa kora Noria Street aharugito Rwambara Masaka bakuretire ibintu nyamurunji nkenkeito jackets za leather empare za jeans t-shirts zo mu bikabyona enshaho z'abashayije n'abakazi n'ibindi byinshi nibajwe kabeshangozi n'abandi bona kandi nibabikwikiza aho kubori kwenda kumanya biri kukiraho tera note mushanje 8 93 nkaga 5 23 Narishi, not umshanjita numwenda, ashatunamnan, not emwe, ikumnibiri. Happy Fashions Boutique will lead, others follow.
Iwe nyawa, uri hane bintu biri kufuka.
Echafaniki?
Omuchiyungwe, omudining, reception, tayari acho kunyanenchi.
Tayari yabaki?
Tiri.
Tukazwa mu rukiko nagira ngo mbaga yanje neta ko kuba mutayari kumuca, tayari jinga, yaba ritariho okugitwa n'inkuru.
Dere mbaga yafu.
Yama, mazima bisisi no naziri mbarika ngaba mwanjire namukunda tayari. Mazima niza kutiro ndege zanyu kitenda.
Abagore barikaye kutwatera ngo
twakere. Tayari yaba yuka yantoroka.
Umugore yagira ati?
Yatoroka.
Macabura nenze?
Tayari kumuca.
Umugore. Listen.
Tayari bisisi no mushisha wanje wabati omubwati. Tayari kumbucha tayari jinga ndo nabireta. Imuka tuze kugitwa bari.
Tayari Products nizikorwa ba Third Investment Limited abakushango muri Mbarara obwezahamibwe UNBS.
This is GNTV, releasing life.
twabacira kuruga umukawumuka bakamabitwako bito mu studios inyine mu Shadow Mayor Warembo Rwambarara Mr kandi Pastor n'umushaho Peter Mpaka iyo nagamasho nga stars zimwe na zimwe na mnonga zo kwigura amashomero ko ku Minister of Education aregereyo akatangaza ngo ngahima bakuteka teke byo kwigura amashomero mube muberekere abo kubecho tuchikorra magana gabana banyu twenda to presiding over a nation which is orphan. Turiyo turebe enshonga zitari zimwe amageza gutwakubasa kucwanka ihanga kureka ngo kandi abana bitu tebarohama. Mr. Peter, on top of those points you have given us, akatwareba ngo enshonga nkuru ni vaccination. Sente tuzine. What is happening according to you? Is it true mutibino ho kugura bene ayiba kwihezo doses eziba abagabira konkati bine ho kwiha ezo kushashara na sente kandi naba bakutugabira tebakubasa kutugurira yobaga if they say ngubone baguza bariya no itwe abira gujo ne batushoshora konka bariya baguza batwinire imbabazi ne bakwatana ibe bagura batugabiraho. Can't we, if it is true, really, can't we get money tuhereza bakutugabira batugurire kuri yankaba kwegurira? Simple logic. You to us.
Wabiteka mwaka akantu kitkaroko ndiri n'ekito cyaho mukatare kachikona.
Yes.
But
because it's a very serious issue.
It's a very serious issue, and I really see your concern because you're troubled, you're frustrated with why are we not getting vaccines?
Yes.
Yes.
Beyond.
Yes.
Why? Sente kazuruho. Really no enda kunjira mu vaccine nache ninga namajezo ko kugira ngo sente katuziteko mukona as long as nabathereza yezi byabusha batwe byabusha ize sente tuize tuzikozese bitu
kokaru yale echinyona atakona mu cha addressing as a political person na nyanyo cha addressing as a person who is a medical practitioner because I'm a medical lab scientist. Nyo echintu cha vaccine kunkutera mutochi ndebangu. It's not easy to get these vaccines. Nichilizana Minister of Health. Now, going of Minister of Acheng, Yaragayakajat, we have obtained all the vaccines. Ajant really. Akumani Manyangu, there are not so many companies which are producing these vaccines. We have like Johnson & Johnson, we have AstraZeneca, and others, Madonna, something like that. I think there are not so many. So if you have the whole international market zeroing on these products, the queue can become so long. So me, I tend to believe that it's not easy to obtain vaccines as we yes. So the queue is long, and number two, Norana and these countries first wanted to vaccinate their people. And again, also, the vaccine itself has had its own scientific merits and demerits. First of all, tukareba ekintu cha safety kandi kigamba ha. Kandi bagirangu vaccine abantu bakuteka manya ne kutuhindura tukabibikoko norai no mai no social media yabaza akantu ngomuntu bamutera vaccine manya yahinduke kiki.
Ate wamuteka ikiko chikwatera.
Exactly. So at the evidence byona byaija as propaganda. Konkanyonga is strengthening as a scientist. A vaccine, no yokuba any drug, it cannot be 100% safe. Okay. Now wazaza mbu side effects which can be handled medically and overcome. Echinde chijira vaccine, vaccine yija etaku preventing a prevention. Yeah? Etaku preventing I mean being attacked. Invasion, I think I wanted to say the word invasion. Vaccine yija kugira ngo baba kutire vaccine hati tokubura kwato. Abantu bajakano mugashugo vaccine nichi. Kare ne no garuko kakwato kabasa susceptible. Kungachi kwenda ko gisabantu no kugira ngo vaccine iyo ne kuyamba kugira ngo tokuba kubi. Nko muntu wabe atakozere ki? Just ntugamba ngo na hard immunity, HERD, hard immunity. Kugira ngo mbiri no kuba gwabire awakened. gushangurwa begwarwire indwara kija kugira ngo abasirikare bago bakozere ki bakozere defense kuko abaganda bakugira ngo ikijyomanyi kinyaga bitono nangito abanyakonto tujya ngo ibare ryarebekere turukutera mfuka. So exactly that's what happens with vaccination. Ngukogaruka kuwo kwatwa to kuba kubi ngoriyo abe yakozere ki yabire wabataka tunjire vaccine.
Ataka wiro
nango agataka rwiro nako kurwara umubiri guba somehow weekend hato ukikira nacyo cyukwereza mu some immunity. So ikintu cya vaccination n'ekinyo ni manyangu it is still some years akuba. First of all, even the numbers to vaccinate 40 million Ugandans is not even something which you can do in just months.
Kana mozomu karuru just in one day ninga in 3 days buri omaka yafunere ka ballot paper
akaruru
distribution yeti yakubere ne dinkamya yakubere ne funechizo kiri ne procuring these vaccines. How can you explain omuntu wahansi ngo twina okugura konka twina okufuna ebyabusha
manya to oriyo wakugabira nabasa kugabira depending on so many factors. Maybe abatunjire excess
awenje takumugana akagura more excess
you can at one ngabire kintu can't think aku dictating nguje ntatukorechi. You see, that's also the challenge we have. So the money is there, as they have told us. The process of getting the vaccine.
Are we still in that process?
Me, I think the process is still there. And I think that government and Ministry of Health, they would be betraying us. They would still be betraying us.
Contradictions. Ordering 9 million. You know, is it because there is a question of trust in government, or because everything is proposing and that's about public attending a korekangu take basiga
no. Me, what I think is really Ministry of Health must be doing whatever it can. Even internally, as Uganda and as a Ministry of Health, we're also trying to develop our own vaccine. So that small benefit of doubt. Really, they must be doing something. But if they are sleeping, really, that is a betrayal in the people of Uganda, and it should not be happening that way.
Your last point on that.
My last point on the whole issue of education and vaccination. Ministry of Education should think about an alternative thing. Akuba tuzakwigura amashomero abana bazeyo barwara babanze bagira ubwo babanze baba isolated babanze bagumoko munda hati already we have a very weak surveillance system.
On top of that, abazire batwirende baferwa fees abo kuba ni nyijukanywa kangambe nko muzire first lockdown kibari gero mu lockdown twashashura kibere bamarayo like 2 weeks bagaruka fees ozafa kibajihiro bagarukayo twagaruka twashashura I think 2 months bagaruka bargayo omuzire no wariyo na
exactly
so na bazagarukayo still again we
pay then third wave and then they come back. Ukareba video ya social media uri arikuja ati umuzara kuja ati konka headmaster kamenasha shwire sente abana wabohereza na nakahunga something like that. So we need a sustainable solution yokuturabyo mu rutaro. And for me, e-learning, extending data internet connectivity na mwenye echo nacho ninchishaba government gabe echikoraho ba laying out strategies to making sure internet becomes strong. Omundari nyachivale nangari yoko mundu oko mucharo cyo munda kanungu na basa kutunga natunga internet fast.
Already itabi nabano mu university already abana ari ombasho
exactly,
but there is that kora exams and they made could be cholera online and they say
yes,
but still we pay the same amount of money on top of your
all internet and data, and that's where government also lets us down. Hashimekuba mu authority, some control. Ona kora this is a private market. Ngoria, it's a private university, it's a private school, mwakwese tinjira everything, mwakweteka rules and procedure. Really government national kwane rwekajet. Now during this time abazire bari mu lockdown tubakora tibine sente. Really reka tubachenderezeho but shows as a policy that let all universities maybe 60%. Abazire basashe 60% tubase kurakora chi. So we also awaken you up, muteke some control to see that this thing goes ahead. Then the chin nani shabangu, let us develop sustainable solutions. Echitechi tukumanya ngo teacher abuze on and off. Abana bakaba batandika kandi bakagaruka. Kanda akabaja mukanda bana no baleta infection ezimwe muri otware mama
we can't continue.
Abazire abana bafire abasigara ba heads of the families. So all those are things we should put in the picture tukarebeka ngo twarabo mu taroru when we are all alive and kicking.
Still umuntu wahansi na chitaga kushomesebwa. I think Minister of Health na other sectors mutaka yeseza you come on board muza GNTV mpaha mugambira abantu bitu babase kushoborecherwa at least haro umuntu akubashoboreke kugenda misho. They join you in that struggle in spirit, I may say. We can still pray for you and be patient with you. Though many people what is the difference between Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania? Abana uko bariona bashoma konka only in Uganda abana nobody merekuza umashomero. Is it because of fear or it's intentional? You have answers, you need to come on board and answer those simple questions. Nchine shadow meya witu Mr. Mpaka Peter nyenda kan turebe ahanshonga ya politics this time. Peter is a man from Noob.
Yes.
People
power.
I'm surprised today I read white.
Freedom is all we need.
Is all we need. I don't know who are you in our kind of freedom, but anyway, you'll be explaining to us the car to generate to Reben Shonga is the general mission we hangari to Trevere imwa Nupu mwapinga kuza umurchiko urukuterana ibindi biyona mwenda kutworeka ngwimwe muri so special tumukwenda kweterana kwatanisa nebindi otire mu DP UFDC Jema NRM imwa wenchi mweyahwire
webare mnonga abumra mogo wa iPod Narshi Interparty Organization for Dialogue. When last week tukaturiyaha nagamba statement na jangu President Museveni kinaya biro kwa ruganira yajati nyonyi no bukoryo bwinji bwo kutegeka abanya Uganda kandi igashire hafuwe kama akakoryo neji Interparty iPod Interparty Organization for Dialogue. Tukareba Secretary General witu arukhandike baroha ikaberumu oruzungu rurungi mu ebigambo birungi kandi ebirukoreka exactly ngo what is happening in Uganda nekintu ekitakufa aha muntu wa hansi. But everything at Engage iPod is just a platform eyokuyamba regime ya President Museveni, which for us we take as a brutal regime. Itukutwara regime etira abantu regime y'abantu bitu bakwasubwe bakabura nata bamwe tukabarebire abamwe nata bakigombe home abamwe tubakabagana charged before court for more than 48 hours. So it's a law breaking regime when you become especially a political opponent. So iPod age
otaka baptizingire that name numbamwe amazire finding out wenche bali abakwasirwe wenche bataka reserwe mu court wenche mutakomanya hebari before you blame them.
Yes we atabana abakwatirwe karangara they were on Chagulanyi's presidential campaign track bakaba batari kugira ngo bakaba ari bizahambuki nanga bakabinde ekibe kibe bakoze. They were just on the campaign trail. So itwitwe kutoatire mutoki ebintu ebiryo mu iPod twareba nguriya iPod ukareba actually. For example, let me bring this example. Tuchimanya je ngwa karuru kukabigire mukati like this. the first person or yesterday iPod meeting was the DP president Norbert Mao. Actually, I carry on one on the TV shows. Aliku bragging, aliku jata. At the State House switchboard na bajamunyenda President Museveni bajamutari available. After some time, yantera yambuza atobe no indach. Atina mjango, I think we need to meet as iPod and we talk. Tukatuheze kugomu Karuru. Actually, like 2 days after the Karuru had been announced, tuchine contentions nyingi. Tukureba results zimaziri interchange tukureba ibintu byingi tuchine issues so kuno jangu iPod ekere leveled ground kane kuja nkonkatiya ababa nupa butwe na mutulete on board bachine issues ezi kato banze tuzihandling tuweza kuzihandlinga tubone kureba okuturaba
it would be a platform where you handle those issues.
Until you see what happens in iPod there. To my simple understanding is that everything is dictated. What is to be discussed? Yes, what is to be discussed? It's like an opportunity. It's just like an opportunity to come and sit, and the real issues which are hurting Ugandans are not even given space. Because if iPod was doing its work, why would we have a militarized political campaign like the one we had? Why would we have a tear gas filled military campaign? I mean political campaign. Because iPod at that time we came to conquer tear gas nyingi. Why would we have a presidential candidates like, for example, a Muriat being bundled in a car on the day he's going to what? To the and iPod says nothing. But you see, political programs are always designated and agreed upon and given. But signing electoral commission is approving it. Okay, you are going to take that route. So that program may be possible. So what we don't want to iPod kurugayeka jiret konka presidential candidate nyonka candidate wanje kuyijire mbarara bamutozo mukishaka ngo yarabo mitumba no so tumona kana shabaka mitumba Karuru ya torero ko yato rwari tukajikoro ko nyima konka presidential candidate wa NRM akuba at that time he was a presidential candidate we kuyijire high street yonekeri yero engoma batera. So we are saying that iPod
mukaraisinga mukagirangwa ati because it has something to do with dialogue. Interpart organization for dialogue. And dialogue is where you come on board and say konka mutorabya kubi uriya mukatorabyo ku kandi mwaraba and then you dialogue over that next time chitaba.
But I can assure you that FDC has been saying these things inside the iPod for the last 4 years. iPod
abandoning dialogue abokurigirira echumwayegere FDC yarabire.
No, of course, we studied what has been going on inside the iPod with other parties. DP Rio, Rio. So when FDC, actually there are so many times over iPod they submitted and FDC refuses to send a representative. Actually FDC is just call a formal write-up. We have withdrawn. Actually I would advise even other parties. I think Ant should not even think about joining iPod.
I think it can't because it has no member of parliament.
Yes, they don't have, but what if in the future you get a member of parliament? But still, even if you get him, I would strongly advise Ant not to join iPod.
But
and even
with
UPC, DPC.
Than to gain. There is a lot to lose.
And that is the opportunistic politics that Museveni has put in Uganda. We all look at now as a fair worker saying and that's what is branding Uganda from that's what I say democracy yitu kura akuba na nchimanisa una deep no eriyo nero necherani instead of going there to fight for the ordinary person. So itonupu na mwenu nyoni sima rahanga ni sima na president wanje chagura nyina na bebembezi bitu okubasa kuovasha kuyihamisha byo kuriya bakajangureka turwani romuntu. Actually mwena bari ya GNTV nupu ncho chibine chichecho mashema kwa no joining akuba cyo chirwanira omuntu wahanze What? Tubarebere cyo kurya because there are billions of money in iPod. Tubarebere cyo kurya kugira ngo bakatugende turye katugende tusabe na President Museveni tunywe ka chai tuteze chani abana bajyamu no reke tukireke but we continue fighting for the freedom of cyakini zazwarira ka t-shirt that freedom is all we need. Ako abanyarwanda bingi bari no babona bari no bitwa kubi twareba umukasheshe ni mukandu kureba a story on an online paper yo musija ainemi akanshanzu nena konka it was his first time even to reach Entebbe airport. Umwana uyabe narebera muto ngo yamuyambere akari umvuji wa boda z'akagari abaryo mworo arikubona konka arikuyamba ugo mwana kuyakuzire yatuye akasente yabasa kuyamba ugo muzire we ugo guardian wenda no mukazi yabateka aeroplane ngo abaze kubakira ahanyonyo no kurabara kushango umuntu many people in the biggest percentage have never even reached Entebbe bakoma kwekusha. You get so it is the economy which is constrained.
Taking you back to your freedom thing, what happens? It is over. President Museveni yasharamat kale buri musibe wena wa nope yakwatwire by'obutegetsi namukomora. Would you appreciate and change goalposts?
That's a tricky question because now it depends on the purpose, the overall purpose. Akwa President Museveni inamageze gukora those political goals. Akabate bagolo akaba kunkani mangu he cannot. The dictator he is takubasa kuichira zangu afeyare kuraba.
I have seen him on several occasions. Akore kuraba sebe obarire mo is it Rwakasisi or Rangaranga?
Rwakasisi, yes, Rwakasisi. Nabasa kuchikora konka itwitwe our issue is ababo kuba community. And why didn't they go to a civil court? Because they are civilians. I went to the military court. So nukendera iPod nchawangu iPod is a simuche. That's one, a simuche. Let there be serious discussions that are talking about the direction of this country. Two, I advise parties as you iPod in kaza DP na UPC. Ni mumwe karakase muruge yumurga achimere cyumuruho muruga byukuriye bumuruho muije tuzahansa tuwanere umuntu wa burijo. And I advise even other parties nka aunties takajira iPod nange takatujera member of parliament no mwo kumutunga really don't think about joining iPod until Uganda is free, until people can exercise their political rights. Abantu bakashemera umwihanga ryabo utakwangwa kuba no supportinga isatan party nanga no higanisibwa akona supportinga
tekateko nebe gambe wayihura tibya GNTV kananyanye tibyanje iyo netekateka ya shadow la meya witu kandi ayayikwasire bendera ya nopo onatekateka ebi bya dialogue beberekere kandi abantu abamwe batekateka njyane ko kire tushitama hameza tugonjore enshonga ezikubasa kugonjorwa zigonjorwe iwo ine kitekateka cyawe no baza kufollowinga YouTube na Twitter yitu obase kandi kuteka ibitekateko. Stay blessed and stay connected to GNTV. Bukenya Everest ningo mazina agomanjis wa program yetu.